Men are good, as are you. And today we're going to pull a switcheroo. We're going to have some good news for a change. Some good news. Guess what? We're going to listen to a little bit of a talk by a senator, U.S. Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri, talking about the future of American men. So buckle your seatbelts and listen to this.
But what I want you to notice, what I want to call out tonight, is that the deconstruction of America begins with and depends on the deconstruction of American men. The left want to define traditional masculinity as toxic. They want to define the traditional masculine virtues, things like courage and independence and assertiveness, as a danger to society. This is an effort that the left has been at for years now, and they have had alarming success.
Yeah, boy, that sounds good to me. And this is the very message that we've been trying to put out there for years and years and years. So it's just kind of a shock to hear a U.S. Senator talk like that. And good, too. Good. Well, let's see what else he says here.
Because the problem with the left's assault on the masculine virtues is that those self-same qualities, the very ones that the left now vilify as toxic and dangerous, have long been regarded as vital to self-government. Observers from the ancient Romans to our forefathers identified the manly virtues as indispensable to political liberty.
And indeed they are. So this is interesting. He's not really a blue pill guy, not strictly, but he's also not a red pill guy either. He's kind of in between in some ways. He's seeing the utility of men as being for their country, which is, in my opinion, a step above gynocentrism, which says the utility of men is just to be there for women and to take care of women and to be married and blah, blah, have kids and blah, 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 blah. He's saying no, that a democracy needs, a republic needs strong, virtuous men in order to survive. And I think he's right about that. I think he's right about that indeed. But let's see where else he goes here.
Other prominent liberals have taken this the next step and identified America's many alleged woes with men in particular. Take Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. White supremacy and patriarchy are linked in a lot of ways, she says, meaning that America's systemic racism is a systemic problem with men. Author John Stoltenberg writes that talking about healthy masculinity is like talking about healthy cancer. Professor Susanna Walters of Northeastern University says it seems logical to hate men unless they pledge to vote for feminist women only and don't run for office.
Yeah, that was the "why can't we hate men" lady. Gracious goodness. So he's singing our song in a lot of ways. I mean, he's singing our song. He's saying the very things that we've been saying for a long, long time. And, I'm going to leave a link below to the entire talk so you can watch it yourself. It's about 30 minutes or so, but it's well worth watching just to feel a certain sense of gratitude that our message is finally getting out there into the mainstream. And of course, guess what happened? He talking like this, what do you think happened in the mainstream? They attacked him. And basically the attacks were he's trying to make us go back to all traditional masculinity, blah, 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 which is bullshit. I mean, he's saying we want men to be virtuous. He's not saying go back to anything. And also, it's convenient for them to focus on that and not focus on the fact that he's really calling them out for denigrating and hating a half of the culture and tearing us apart by separating us and then setting up people for fights. Whether it's black and white, whether it's men and women, that's what they're doing. They're setting up these fights between groups, and they want us to fight. They want there to be big fights. They want there to be guns and shootings and whatever's in order for them to come in and save the day by martial law. Anyway, enough about that silly nonsense. So what does he say as the solution? Here's what he says as a start.
So the question is, how are we going to get them today? Well, let me make one suggestion. We can start by repudiating the lie that America is systemically oppressive and men are systemically responsible. That is a fantasy, it is a folly, it is a falsehood, and we should call it out for what it is.
Amen, Senator Hawley. And thank you very much for your words. And, I'm going to leave his address below so you can write to him and thank him for that, or for this, because it's good to let him know that his message that he's putting out has got support from some people out there. Also, I had an idea. I think that we can use this in some ways, and I think one of the ways we can use it, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the link to this and send it to my congressman, send it to my two senators, and say, here, I really enjoyed this speech by Josh Hawley, the U.S. Senator Josh Hawley, and I want to know if you agree with this. And if you do agree, what can we do about it? If you don't agree, why not? And force them to respond to this, because this is our opportunity now. And so I'm going to leave a template below of just a very short paragraph saying just what I just said, basically. And you can just copy and paste it. I'll also leave links to find your representative and find your senators. You just click those links, click the contact, boom, done. Finish. Paste in whatever you want, change it around whatever way you want it. But let's get this out there. Let's push this a little bit. Let's let Senator Hawley know that we really appreciate it. But second, start using it as leverage. Start letting people, our other senators, no matter how liberal they are, send it to them. Say, I like this message. Can you refute it? No, you can't refute it because it's exactly what you've been voting for, you jackass. Anyway, just an idea. Do what you want. Also, put in the comments below any responses you get from these politicians. It'd be really interesting to see what kind of responses, if any, people are going to get. So put them in the comments below, and let's keep in mind, men indeed are good, as are you. Y'all take care. Men are good.